All right. Um, Time of recording 11:32 p.m. on Monday the 23rd. We have caterwauling. Princess. 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 Pretty princess. Princess. Pretty princess. I hear you. Pretty princess. This will be today's daily vlog. Meow meow. So baby. Yes. They hear me talking and now they want to talk. Oh, it's Samira. Say hello. Um, yeah, I had to work today. It was a very low energy day. Got to leave fairly early, which was nice. Made a little bit of money, went to the store, got a few things. It is what it is. It was perceived that I was tripping, as it was said to me on my schedule, and I was like, no, it's not that. It's normally my day off. I take my Mondays as my Sabbath day. And, but I was like, it's cool, it's whatever. But I was just like low energy, like, bird, bird, bird. Yeah. And, weekend went pretty well, made decent money, had fun. It's the important part. Good company. So now I've got 3 days off. Got some bills to pay remotely. I've got a KNF video to do that I've been formulating. And I think I've got some wood I can haul. Probably have to get the saw out. If it's not terribly hot in the afternoons, I don't know, it got up over 90 again today. So we'll see what the highs look like, but if it's too warm, I'm not going to chainsaw. I have 2 tomatoes that are red that I'm going to pick. I'll be eating them. I'll probably do a video with it. Ooh, go fly. I don't know. I've got gas to mow the lawn, but I don't know if it's really long enough to mow yet. Um, Gonna do laundry. 3 days off will be nice. Um, on a people watching level, today was like a potpourri, as was yesterday. It was very weird. Um, Sprinkled in the mix were people driving like maniacs. Uh, Out driving, watching police activity. That was the thing I really missed when I stopped driving cab and I was out here for like 4 straight months. Is you know, you can get the pulse on the town, and I happen to be aware of the historical nature of the town that I live in, so I find it very fascinating to watch. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like it's an honor to get to see something. So uh, yeah, um, I am. For those who are seeing this that have not seen the previous explanation, not referring to my place of employment or the general nature is I drive and I deliver food. That's about as far as I'm going with it. Um, Watching police and fire and ambulance activity, watching the flow of people, both on foot, on bike, and now on motorized electric scooters. Somebody has a scooter rental in town now. Tonight's vlog is brought to you by Rogue Dead Guy Ale. This is the best beer. And their can is awesome, but it is the best beer. School started. You have to remember to drive in school zones at slower speeds now, certain times of the day. Not exactly counting the 4 months spent unemployed as being outside of the nature of my trade, as it were. 6.5, 5.5, 2. I'm moving into my 15th year. Somewhere, I want to say like March. March is about the point at which I think I had started at my first job delivering for pizza. And that wasn't my first job, but it was my first job doing that. I've been a professional driver ever since. So 2006 or 2007. Since then, my primary occupation has been as a professional driver. And I am what you would call an active learner. So, kind of a perfectionist. I like to get good at the things I do. I take pride in being good at what I do. And so, whatever job I get at, I get into. Um, so, I don't know. I'm at a new, the dawn of a new era in my life. So yeah, it's interesting. Uh, Closing manager left the building with his keys inside. The door was locked, and so then he couldn't get into his vehicle, so I had to drive to his place of residence so he could get another key. It's a little bit out of town, actually almost farther than, it's more direct, but about the same distance from town, a ways out. And it was interesting. This dude's usually inside, has no idea about my driving, knows a bit about the fact that I have a fair amount of experience. It's interesting, different people, when you drive someone else in a vehicle, like how they react to how you drive. So not only have I actually been driving since 1996, but I've been professionally driving since like 2006. So 15 years. Competence, not even, that's like on a bad day. So in a previous video, I had a ring with $100 in it. I'll show you now. So the slides out. I now have 3. I have a few more rings in that cup to fill with hundreds, and the point is holding them back, keeping them saved and separate, and still having money to work with. Because I've got the cash I brought home and the cash I took in that I didn't actually use. I'm moving toward my property tax first and foremost. I think I'm going to get a muffler before I get suspension or engine avionics, as it were, sensors and such. Because I think that I'm going to attract police attention the longer I drive with a loud muffler. And I believe mine is a bolt-on situation, so it's something I can do myself. Also on the list is the retaining bolts and brackets for the U-joints on the front differential yoke. I've got to get those and U-joints so that I can put my front four-wheel drive shaft back on so that I can have four-wheel drive by winter. But that has to be done by October or November at the latest. But as the property taxes due sooner, I'm going to go for that first. And as soon as I have it, I'm going to pay it. It's all priorities. Somebody gave me shit in comments on Unstoppable Morgan about she has this shirt for sale, and I was like, you need to keep that up for a few months, and eventually I think I'll be able to justify the expense. Some dude gave me shit about being a terrible person because I had to, that's not something I can afford. And it's like, no, I've got priorities. I've got other things I've got to take care of first. The bills get paid, the property tax gets taken care of, the vehicle gets fixed up. Anything that's wrong with the house gets fixed, and then I'll think about buying a fucking t-shirt. Although I will buy some beer here and there because it helps along the way. In all things, moderation. I think it's been a month now. It's been a heck of a month. It's been cool. I have previously speculated that there is some sort of curse or admonishment against me making significant profit, and I'm kind of feeling it because there's some days that other people are making hella bank and I'm not. And some of the things in some of my dreams have told me that it's a matter of, long hair and beard, although I don't really think that's so much the case. I do keep it, well kept, and it's obviously a grown beard. It's not just facial hair that grew out. And people notice that. A lot of the time it has to do with luck of the draw stuff. You've heard me speak previously about the pre-tipping thing being automatic. I've been keeping track just through small notations of sub 10% relative to 10% or more. I don't denote 10% as 10%. I just include those in the more as the same. And that's leveled out. There was a spate of it, and I don't know what the deal was. It's possible through attribution that the people that are doing the ordering have whatever connection to world events and current things that folks may not necessarily tip as hard when they're concerned about, prepping or the circumstances, or just, who knows what they're spending their money on. There's all kinds of reasons why people don't tip. Although people who consciously don't tip can just go fuck off. I have nothing good to say about people who can tip but don't. Unless there's something wrong with the service, there's no reason to be like that. That is just dick. Second in line on that are the people that try to justify why they shouldn't have to, or why they should change the rules on tipping and just pay a fair wage or whatever. And it's like, it's really bad luck to go into detail about your earnings, not for like tax reasons, but just you don't want to jinx yourself, because there's a lot of weird random shit when you work for tips. So call it superstitious, call it whatever. If you take it all and average it out, if you want to eliminate tips and retain drivers in, say, food delivery, you're talking $20 an hour base. Maybe second shift differential or something. Base, $20. $18 to start, maybe. I'm not even joking. I make $8 an hour on the clock. If you want to pay for a driver to do that, that's what you got to pay to make up for what every driver is making. So arguing that you shouldn't have to tip, you just end up being that one of 3 out of 10 that didn't tip that night kind of thing. It's not the majority of people, the people who were like that. But the people who could have tipped, I mean, think about how you could have improved someone's day even more. I'm feeling good about making 18 or 19, but if I can push 20 or even better on a better day, get some fucking gonzo tips from time to time. There's a dude that had been on a run of bad luck for weeks. I've watched this guy complain, and he is pulling random $10, $12, $15, $20 tips. Another guy got $35 on one because it was a catering order. They split the tip between him and the manager that went and delivered it. It happens. Those things happen too. But if you want to really be fair about it, on an average, you need $18 to $20 an hour, depending on experience, to deliver food if you want to get rid of tips. Most people are not assholes. I personally, if I can't afford it, I don't. I live by that. Can't afford a tip, can't afford to order. If I can't afford a tip, then I don't. I've got things here I can make that are actually much healthier and way the hell cheaper. And that's the whole thing. The people that order and don't tip for convenience, and it's like, okay, but you got to pay for the convenience. This includes making it worth your driver's time if you want the person to give a shit about getting your food there and making sure everything is intact. Where I work, we try and all, for the most part, do that anyway. Just, be solid and consistent. But what it is that once you do that, you eliminate the whether it's your own fault issue, and if it's not your own fault and everybody's being consistent, then it's a matter of the randomness of people. Which people and how they're feeling and what they're doing. So as this pertains to my curse or admonition, I have a level of need that can be met, and it will be met. It's kind of almost like, you can think of it like a Lord will provide kind of thing. And it's not something that can be relied upon or taken for granted. It just means that when you work hard and do the thing and whatever, maybe forbidden from really taking a serious hard profit or making crazy ass money, getting yourself out of whatever rut you're in, but at the same time, capable of maintaining and breaking even and fixing enough to tread water. Which is fine for, a while, I guess. And as long as my bills are paid and I'm able to get the things fixed that need fixed, it's like I'll make what I make. Previously, I kind of got into a position of burnout because I started to kind of take it personal when people didn't. And the thing is, and I've kind of already addressed this, things have changed in the world of ordering your food and having it delivered. And there was a conscious effort to encourage gratuity. And I think that succeeded. So, again, as long as my things are taken care of and I can get everything the way it needs to be, I'm fine with whatever. I'm not, walking out with $30 a day consistently. Let me tell you about driving around for 12 hours and walking out with 35 or 40 bucks. And the good days were between 60 and 80. So, you don't see me complaining. That ain't what this is. So sadly, I think some of it may be affected by the kind of nonsense that the media puts out. So I don't want to say that it's like I take it personal that they're broadcasting the bullshit that they're broadcasting, but it just so happens that as I get back into that game at the same time, a thing that directly affects people's mentality when it comes to that stuff is definitely aligned against. But at the same time, the way they do it, they make it so that a lot of people want to order so that then the business still thrives. It's just a matter of whether people are like, in a good enough mood that they don't care that they can just throw money at their food people. So, Tripping Billy's. I was at the store. I went into Hy-Vee, and this is where I was able to find the dead guy. And got coffee and got that. And as I was picking up coffee and heading toward Wine and Spirits, started playing Ants Marching. It's the Dave Matthews song. Tripping Billy's is also a Dave Matthews song. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we may die. The times are good. I'm enjoying it. I have not in the least bit lost track of what else is going on in the world. But while the taking is to be had, I'm getting while the getting is good. Hopefully tomorrow I will have that Knuff video uploaded. We'll see what the weather looks like.